Everybody, my name is Jacob Toronto of ChasingCinema.com. Thank you for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube page, where each day I bring you updates and movie news, casting details, image or trailer reviews that are going on. For instance, today I'm going to be talking about an image that was released. But we also do podcasts each week. We do major movie reviews each week. And of course, you go to ChasingCinema.com to read all of my reviews, my more in-depth reviews. But today, here on the YouTube page, we're going to be talking about the first official image for the 2015 film Vacation, the latest Vacation film in the franchise that spawned back in 1983, starring Chevy Chase, and was directed by Harold Ramis, which told the story of Clark Griswold taking his family to Wally World. And Clark Griswold had a lot of problems, and it pretty much spawned multiple sequels, from European Vacation, Christmas Vacation. My favorite is actually Vegas Vacation. Being from Las Vegas, it's quite. I mean, I don't think it makes me like it more, but I felt a little bit more relatable to it. But I just think it's absolutely hilarious. The blackjack with his cousin Eddie, and then going into the different casinos. It's a really, really fun movie. That was 17 years ago, Vegas Vacation, which is the last time the Griswolds were on screen. Though there was in 2010, there was a short 7-minute little film called Hotel Hell Vacation. But that's kind of disregarded now, and obviously isn't even consistent with this movie that they're making right now. In this film, Rusty Griswold, Clark's son, who was originally played by Anthony Michael Hall, is actually going to be played by Ed Helms. Obviously not an actor who ever played Rusty Griswold, but he is now, obviously grown up, and Ed Helms, this character, Rusty, has decided to reconnect with his wife and his children, that he is going to make a family vacation and take them to Wally World. This movie's been talked about for a long time, and I feel like it's been something that people have been wanting to kind of come to fruition, and it finally has. Chevy Chase is going to be in it, Beverly D'Angelo in it, obviously, Clark and Ellen from the original series. We also have a lot of different stars being in the movie that I think is going to be really interesting enough to get people in the theater, from Chris Hemsworth to Leslie Mann to Christina Applegate, who will be playing Rusty's wife. I think Charlie Day, the comedian Charlie Day from Horrible Bosses, will be in it as well. So it looks like it's going to have a pretty solid cast, or at least a lot of cameos. But what do we have to see today? None other than the first official, well, actually it was released a little bit last night maybe, or early this morning, was the first official image of Griswold. 3 generations of Griswolds all in one photo. We have Chevy Chase and Ellen, and then we have Rusty and his wife, who is played by Ed Helms and Christina Applegate, and then their 2 sons, who is, I'm sure, going to be a part of this road trip to Wally World. Now, Vacation was always a big movie series of my family, my brothers, and always have loved the original Vacation movie, and we've always played them. Though I was always the one saying, "Let's play Vegas Vacation." Everyone always told me to shut up because they wanted to watch Christmas or Vegas Vacation, which are claimed to be the most popular movies. But Chevy Chase, I think, bringing this kind of story back and telling it like this isn't necessarily a mistake. I think it's a really interesting place for them to go, actually, because Chevy Chase being in the lead, I think, would have a little bit of an issue. But I know he is going to play more of a co-star than an actual lead, being that his age, and he has been being criticized for being a little bit slower in his pace and his talking. It's referenced in SNL. He was recently on SNL's 40th anniversary show, which took place about a month ago. And he's still great, though. He's Chevy Chase. He will always have this entity about him, and arguably one of his most famous characters, if not his most famous character, was Clark Griswold. So I think a lot of people who are fans, and there are a lot of people who love this movie and this franchise. I mean, people love Vacation. They always reference it. Anytime I'm sure anyone's on a road trip, they talk about Vacation. At least my family did, and I know a couple of my friends and their families did as well. It was a really big movie for families that just realized they were really dysfunctional. And, of course, when I don't want to spoil, even though it's been since 1983, it's been over 30 years since the original came out, with John Candy having a cameo, and Wally World being shut down. I mean, it is a really, really great movie. It is fun. It is laughable. I believe John Hughes is a writer on the original. I'm not sure if he continued to write them all the way up. I'm sure he wasn't after a point. But a really, really great movie. Seeing this image kind of makes me all giddy, though I would have really liked, to maybe have seen an original Rusty, but that's okay because we know that Ed Helms is a great actor and a great comedian, obviously, with his success in the Hangover films. And then I see these other stars in it. Leslie Mann, an actress who I think is absolutely hilarious. I think she was the only good thing to come out of The Other Woman. I thought she was really great in This Is 40. Charlie Day, who's actually been killing it in the Horrible Boss franchise. And then we're going to have Chris Hemsworth, who I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what his role is going to be in this movie and how it's going to play out. Look at the image, take a look. How do you feel about this new vacation film? Is it going to work? Is it a smart idea to bring them back? What are your thoughts? Leave them below in the comments. And then after, make sure to give me a thumbs up for liking this video and always hit subscribe. So each day you can be updated by myself, Jacob Toronto, on movie news and trailer reviews and whatever I'm talking about, because I'm always talking, as you will learn. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to hear me talk even more. And look at the pictures that I take, of course, because Instagram, you don't really talk. At Jacob Toronto, that's JACOBTIRANNO. Again, that's TIRANNO. And please continue chasing cinema.